Side note, but tea is like the best thing ever. Like when you're ill, when you're not feeling well. Um, like I actually don't know anything else that makes you feel as good as tea. Um, I don't know what it is. Like even if I don't have medicine, like I don't have Lemsips, which are like cold and flu sachets that you can drink, then if I just have some tea, warm tea, then it's really like a nice vibe. Just like my room. I know you guys like my room. See all the vinyl records and the Tyler the Creator posters. Actually, it's an album cover. It's not a poster. Hmm. Oh, that's so nice. I put three sugars in it, three sugar cubes, and I didn't even count the honey. I just squeezed it. Like, there must be like at least 3 tablespoons of honey in here with three sugar cubes, and 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. That's the European way. And I don't care what anyone says. When you make that noise, what's it called, slurping, it tastes way better. That's lovely. Transformation is better than discipline. Transformation is what we should aim and strive for, because I know that discipline is better than motivation, right? If you want to change something, if you want to change where you work, if you want to change how you look, you need to change it by having the desire and thought process and the feelings to motivate yourself to actually actualize it in real life and to put some sort of effort behind it so you can actually do it day by day, moment by moment, second by second, which is how you will actually create that thing. So you need the motivation, that's how it starts, but and then that turns into discipline, because let's say it's really bad weather outside and it's raining, or you're ill like me now and you don't want to train. See, I'm just thinking about now that I'm being lazy right now. Then I am ill, but like I can still move my body. So I'll probably go for like a walk today or skip some rope for like at least 10 minutes. See, just even talking about it now, I discipline my own self. So you do need discipline, and because discipline will build the foundation. But here's the thing: after discipline, people think that's the end, but no, because discipline doesn't give purpose. Oh, that's so nice. Discipline doesn't give purpose. And the only way to feel truly satisfied in this life is to praise God every day. Is to live by God, by the organism, the ever moving organism around us, right? And just like how a tree swings, just like how there's wind and you don't know which direction it goes, but you just know that it's there. You can't see it, but it's there, right? So it's by living it's by living by God, knowing that He's all around you, and you need to transform. You need to die by Him, basically. Meaning you have to give up your old self completely. Your old identity of who you think that you are, which is not actually who you are. Because this is just a meat body, right? Like I was given the name Vincenzo, but behind that, I'm just the same as everyone else. I'm no different. I had the identity of being a 24-year-old man in the 21st century. But beyond that, if I take that away, which you can through presence, then you remind yourself that you are no different to anyone who lived in the past, anyone who's going to live in the future, and anyone who lives now. Despite if they're rich, if they're poor, where they live, how they look, who they are. And that could be the same as plants or animals as well. So this is what I mean in the sense of you need to transform. I noticed that's when I'm the most happiest in life, the most at peace, when I give my full presence, love, and devotion to God. And I know that sounds crazy and it sounds taboo, because I was like that not long ago. I was exactly the same. I was always questioning it. I'm a deep thinker naturally anyway. So I was thinking, like, how is there a God? Like, there was the Big Bang, and then there's just no one knows. No one knows the true answer. But then when you give your soul to Him, when you go and you die to Him, you let out everything. You cry. It's like it's coming out like a river. It's flowing out of you. All the pain, all the sadness, all the just ego, just ego. Like thinking that I'm better than anyone because I know something. Like just like that ego sense of when I used to go in the gym, and like I've been there a few years and I know what I'm doing, and then I look at someone who's new, and in my mind the first thought was, oh, I'm better than that guy. Oh, look at that skinny fuck that guy. And it just made me think, like, what am I thinking? Like, why is that in my mind? Like, why am I so insecure in myself to think that just because that new energy, that new person is here in this environment, and I've been in this environment for the last 3 to 4 years, that I'm better than him somehow? Whereas if I went to his environment that he's been at for years, whatever that is, then he wouldn't think of me like that. So why am I thinking of him like that? That's just an example. But like you let out all these things that you used to do, that you used to think, that hurt you, that upset you, allowing your parents to control you, allowing them to live through the eyes of them, by their world, with their vote, their world view, how they live the world, right? So let's say that I'm living my life, my world view in my sense right now as a 24-year-old guy, and I would have a child. And whatever I tell that child is only can be based on what I perceive the world to be as in my personal day-to-day life, because that's all that I know. So of course I'm going to give that to the child. Now obviously I'm not planning on having a child, and I'm still building myself and becoming who I am, like the best version of myself, who I can truly be myself to. But the child would, so my parents did the same, of course, right? And this is what took me time to, that when they're angry, when they're upset, when they tell me to do something, it's not out of hate, it's not out of spite. It's just they're trying to help me in the best way that they think is possible based on their particular worldview and who they are as people. So that's why I had to go alone. That's why I have to, not just have to, but I had to completely rely on only myself and God. Because David Late said the same thing, right? When he said, like, how he became, like, such a big influencer, and how he, became, like, Gymshark's, like, clothing brand director. I don't actually know what he does. From, like, starting out with nothing. He said he this is why he said like introversion is like such a cheat code, because when you're completely alone, when you're completely silent in your own thoughts, you do exactly what you want to do, and you don't ask the opinions or the validation of others. You don't seek external validation. You only give yourself validation, self validation, self worth, right? Self love. And I notice that's when I'm the happiest as well. You know, there's friends that come and go. They, you know, I let them go. If they give even an ounce of ego, just control, some sort of jealousy, I just shut them out. It doesn't matter how long I've known them, and that might sound selfish and bad, but despite fairness, despite love, despite even faith, just give me truth, right? Just give me truth, and the truth is that I'm the happiest when I'm by myself. And yeah, it is lonely sometimes, but it's the only way I can grow as a person. You can't truly love anyone else unless you love yourself first, to the core of knowing that I trust myself because I'm doing everything for myself. I don't need anyone. I don't need anyone to rely on. And yeah, I know I've seen those sad compilation videos of what's his name, uh, Theo, Theo Vaughn. You know, when he was saying like, I don't need you, I don't need anyone, and then I became lonely, and you know, there's the sad music in the background and all that stuff. He's like, you become alone, man. You become alone, and then yeah, you do become alone, but that's not a bad thing. It depends how you look at it. If you don't have to attach emotion to it and judge yourself. You came alone for a reason because you're a strong person. You know that you can do anything in this life, right? And you will do everything in this life because you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for God. You have to be connected to the divine, right? If you do it alone, it won't work. You need the anchor. You need to anchor yourself like the root of a tree, right? A tree would fall if there was no roots, right? Because the roots give it power. And where does the root come from? What's the source? What did Jesus say? I am the root. I am the tree, you are the branches, right? You have to anchor yourself in Him. I am doing this for Him. I'm not doing this for myself, I'm doing this for Him. And I know that He's there to help me, right? So, so yeah, you need the anchor. And through the anchor, He will help you. He will make you feel at peace. I'm at peace. I don't have all the money in the world. I barely have anything. I have enough. I have enough for what I need. Not more, not less. Now, if you try sometimes, you'll find you'll get what you need. What does it say? You find sometimes you'll get what you need. Yeah, you'll get what you need. The Rolling Stones, right? You're not what you want, you'll get what you need. Just, yeah. No materialism. You don't need materialism. You don't need things. Things, right? You just need one thing, a vehicle to drive you around to places. You don't. It doesn't need to be extravagant, right? It needs to serve a function, a purpose. Yeah, of course you need to like it, and if you have the means, why not? But at the same time, you don't need these things to feel truly at peace, at one. Because true self confidence, true self love comes from within, and that can only come from when you anchor yourself in God, in Jesus. And I can't even tell people how much of a difference it makes. So I used to be such an atheist when I was younger, just thinking about creation and why I'm here. He gives you purpose. And nothing he says is bad. So I don't know why I used to question it so much. There's no badness in it. If you truly understand it and you truly read it, you'll see that there's no bad at all. It's just a guide to your soul. And if your soul is free and open, then everything else will follow. Because you don't cling to lust, you don't cling to external validation, you don't cling to greed, right? To being a sloth, to doing nothing all day, just numbing yourself. So just keep faith.